Hello, welcome to another presentation on the DevOps Handbook. We're going to be going over chapter 17 this week, which is integrate hypothesis-driven development and A and B testing into our daily work. We are Group 7, Brittany, Herrera, Alexandra, Lozano, and Eddie Pincay. All right, the most efficient way to test a business model or a product idea is to build the complete product to see whether the predicted demand actually exists. Before we build the feature, we should consider hypothesis-driven development, customer acquisition funnels, and A/B testing. Developers work on features for months or even years without ever knowing if the desired outcomes are being met. Worse, sometimes features may be out-prioritized by new features and forgotten by the wayside. Before we build a feature, we must ask ourselves, should we build it and why? We can then use the cheapest, fastest experiments and techniques possible, such as hypothesis-driven development, customer acquisition funnels, and A/B tunnel. The faster we experiment, iterate, and integrate feedback into our product or service, the faster we can learn and out-experiment the competition. How quickly we can integrate feedback depends on our ability to deploy and release software. A great example of this is with the Intuit and TurboTax team, who were able to make it work for them and won in the marketplace. So what is hypothesis-driven development and A/B testing? Here's a couple of videos that's going to explain. And the next one is, what is A/B testing? All right, so that explained those two. And here's a brief history of A/B testing. Two categories of marketing strategy are the direct response marketing and mass or brand marketing, experimentation to determine the highest conversion rate, and examples of campaign fundraising and internet marketing. So A/B testing, which included campaign fundraising, has been used by the British government to determine which letters were most effective in collecting overdue tax revenue from delinquent citizens. So it's been used for a while for different purposes. All right, integrate A/B testing into our feature testing. The most commonly used A/B technique in modern UX practice involves a website where visitors are randomly selected to be shown one of two versions of a page, either a control, the A, or a treatment, the B. Based on statistical analysis of the subsequent behavior of these two cohorts of users, we demonstrate whether there's a significant difference in the outcomes of the two, establishing a causal link between the treatment which is the change in a feature, design element, or background color, and the outcome, the conversion rate, average order size, etc. For example, we may conduct an experiment to see whether modifying the text or color on a buy button increases revenue or whether slowing down the response time of a website by introducing an artificial delay as the treatment. This type of A/B testing allows us to establish a dollar value on performance improvements. Sometimes A/B tests are also known as online controlled experiments and split tests. It's also possible to run experiments with more than one variable. This allows us to see how the variables interact, a technique which is called multivariate testing. All right, integrate A/B testing into your release. We can control what % of users see the treatment version of an experiment. Fast and iterative A/B testing is made possible by being able to quickly and easily do production deployments on demand, using feature toggles and potentially delivering multiple versions of a code simultaneously to customer segments. Doing this requires useful production telemetry at all levels of application stack. All right, so integrate A/B testing into your feature planning. Once we have the infrastructure to support A/B feature release and testing, we must ensure that product owners think about each feature as a hypothesis and use our production release as experiments with real users to prove or disprove that hypothesis. Barry O'Reilly explained how we can frame hypotheses as we believe will result and we will have confidence to produce. All right, so here's a case study. It's with the Yahoo Answers. In 2009, Jim Stoneham was general manager of Yahoo Communities, which is a group that included Flickr and Answers. Previously, he had been primarily responsible for Yahoo Answers, competing against other Q&A companies such as Quora, Aardvark, and Stack Exchange. At that time, Answers had approximately 140 million monthly visitors with over 20 million active users, answering questions in over 20 different languages. However, user growth and revenue had flattened, and user engagement scores were declining. Stoneham observed that Yahoo Answers was and continues to be one of the biggest social games on the internet. Tens of millions of people are actively trying to level up by providing quality answers to questions faster than the next member of the community. There were many opportunities to tweak the game mechanic and viral loops and other community interactions. When you're dealing with these human behaviors, you've got to be quick with the iterations and testing to see what clicks with people. As the Yahoo Answers team was able to move to weekly deployments and later multiple deployments per week, their ability to experiment with new features increased dramatically. Their astounding achievements and learnings over the next 12 months of experimentation included increased monthly visits of 72%, increased user management of threefold, and team doubled their revenue. To continue their success, the team focused on optimizing the following metrics. Time to first answer. How quickly was an answer posted to a user question? Time to best answer. How quickly did the user award a best answer? And upvotes per answer. How many times was an answer upvoted by the user? Community. Answers week in person. How many answers were users creating? And second search rate. How often did visitors have to search again to get an answer? Lower to better. Stoneham concluded This was exactly the learning that we needed to win in the marketplace, and it changed more than the feature velocity. We transformed from a team of employees to a team of owners. When you move at that speed and are looking at the numbers as a result daily, your investment level radically changes. So Jim Stoneham said, if experiments are not performed frequently, the focus of daily work is merely on the feature they are working on, as opposed to the customer outcomes. So a conclusion for this chapter is change your team of employees into a team of owners and strive to out-experiment the competition. Organizational learning that comes from experimentation also gives employees ownership of business objective and customer satisfaction. A and B testing allows us to perform user experiments safely and easily. It enables us to unleash creativity and innovation and create organizational learning. So this was a great chapter on learning how to better websites and really get experiments going so that we make sure that we have great customer satisfaction. We enjoyed doing this chapter and this presentation. Please let us know if you have any questions. We look forward to doing another presentation next week. Thank you so much.